Can I create a day routine that will create peace and joy in my life and will help me manifest all that I want into my life? Yes, and you can also, and I'm about to show you how. And the best part, there is no obsessing over techniques, no turning your life into a rigid schedule of must-dos, just a day filled with joy, aligned actions, and habits that naturally pull you closer to the life you love. Because here's the truth. Your routine isn't just about what you do, it's about what you feed your mind. Think of it as your personal mental diet, shaping your reality one thought at a time. So let's design a routine that actually feels good to you, one that works with you and not against you. Grab your favorite hot beverage and let's get started. Most of us go through our days glued to the to-do list, measuring success by how much we accomplish or putting too much pressure on ourselves on all the things that have to be done. But have you ever stopped to check in how things feel? We need to mindfully tidy up our days to our advantage so our schedule supports us and not works against us. Manifesting isn't just about taking action, it's about embodying the energy of the life you want right now. And that means making space for being and not just doing. Look, your 3D reality shouldn't feel like an obstacle course you have to resist, because 3D is you. So when you resist it, you really just end up resisting yourself. It should feel like a playground you get to create in, and that shift starts with your routine. So this is the power of your mental diet. We all know that what we eat fuels our body, but what about what we consume mentally? The key point is that we eat maybe 3 times a day, but we think all day long. If we're unconsciously feeding our minds with stress and doubts and worst case scenarios, guess what we're manifesting more of. And this is why the solid mental diet is crucial. It's about conscious selection, being mindful of where your attention goes and cutting out the energetic junk food. So things like comparison, complaining, victim mentality, negativity, and over-analyzing situations that don't serve you. So before we even get into specific techniques, the real work starts here, taking control of what you allow into your inner world. This is rule number 1. The second rule is this: all works if you assume it does. So just do whatever feels good to you. You decide. That's it. Get inspired by others, but get in there and just try things out to see what works for you and what doesn't. What makes you feel good and empowered, and what makes you feel anxious and frustrated. So mornings are our most powerful windows to our subconscious, and the way you start your morning matters. Right after waking up, your brain is in this highly suggestible state. Those beta waves make it the perfect time to impress your subconscious with the energy you want to carry throughout the day. And as we know, we manifest what is the dominating state of our subconscious, right? The state we dwell in the most. So it's important to set the tone for the day right and then stay in that state as long as possible. This is how we get to that dominating state. So before you reach out for your phone in the morning or dive into work, emails, and use this precious time on your employer, just take the time for you. Here's the morning flow that really works well for me, so you can get inspired and just try it out, but just do your own thing. So I always wake up gently. There are no jarring alarms, just soft light or a peaceful sound. I actually always start with this Himalayan salt lamp. It's just a very nice, warm, not very invasive kind of light. Then I make my favorite tea. I just always have this one. Small things in the morning, but joyful to look forward to. Then as I sip on my tea, I do a little bit of scripting. I'm writing as if I already have what I desire, or just journal my current emotional state with just full honesty. I'm always trying to be honest with myself because I want to know what's in there. No fluff. And then I do a 20-minute meditation. I usually go for I am meditation or focused attention meditation. So simply resting in awareness of being, observing thoughts without clinging to them, just kind of letting them go. And this isn't about checking off self-care tasks. It's about setting the tone for your day so that you're grounded, intentional, and aligned. And if you're enjoying this video so far, you might consider subscribing to my weekly newsletter, which I called Self-Love Letter, where I share some insights and stories that will hopefully lighten your mood and provide you with this feel-good energy to get you through that week and to create the life that you love. I also released a limiting belief decoding workbook that is a free resource. You can download this. It's in the link in the description. This workbook will help you go deep. I really put all the work that really helped me to get rid of the limiting beliefs and kind of see myself with more clarity, going really deep. And this will really help you to achieve the same and no longer fight this invisible enemy. So feel free to download this from the description below and drop some feedback when you work with this a little bit. Check it out in the description below. It's easy to get caught up in this busyness of life, but even tiny mindful moments can shift your energy during the day. So try to pause and check in with yourself. How do you feel? Where is your attention? Where is your focus? Then try to create stillness. Even one deep breath and just following its track in your body when responding to something stressful or feeling some uncomfortable emotion can really help change the outcome. Remind yourself who you are. Always try to find a moment to rest in your awareness, even if it's just for a brief moment. Remind yourself that you are the I am, the awareness of being. This is your true nature, and all that you create comes from that. And it's really useful, especially when you feel emotionally uneasy, because you're not your emotions, you're not your feelings, sensations, perceptions. You are the awareness of these things. Be still and know that I am God, your awareness of being. And there is only that, only God. So by being present and just grounding yourself in your I am, this is all that matters really. And follow your intuition. Joy and inspiration are like inner GPS signals. Just so trust them. If you don't feel it, then maybe it's time for a slight redirection. Hold space for your emotions. If anxiety creeps in, just don't push it away. Acknowledge it, own it. Love the version of you that worries and hold it close instead of resisting her. And from my previous videos, you can see that I am really heavy on using your emotions as signals and information, not uncomfortable enemies. And you can check it in this video. It's going to be linked somewhere here in the corner. And ask yourself daily, what can I do to make myself feel better? Remember, it's all about feeling good and creating more joy, right? So spoil yourself, because why not? You're not giving this life to struggle, to be miserable and disappointed and complain, but to enjoy yourself and experience and create things for yourself. So prioritize your joy always. This is always this kind of barometer of yours. Editing Marta here. As you can see, it's not really about building a routine, but grounding in your I am and really following what feels good to you. That's all you need to know. There is no routine, there are no techniques. You just do whatever feels good. And that's it. So now let's talk about actual manifesting techniques, because I know that we all use them, even though we decide, we believe that we are the awareness of being, but then we still want to impress our subconscious mind with the things that we desire, right? But we must do something to not make these techniques feel like a chore. It's not about forcing those affirmations or visualizations that don't really resonate with you. It's about finding what genuinely aligns with you. So for me, it means a couple of things. I always do the I am meditation. So I'm trying to elevate, my consciousness beyond my human self, tapping into the feeling of already being the person who has what I want, and repeating I am for a while really works wonders for me and grounds me and makes it all look like, of course it's going to happen for me. I am literally God of my reality. I also engage in spontaneous imaginal acts. No rigid repetitions, just naturally allowing scenes to come to me and feeling them as real in the moment. Sometimes I just fall asleep and some idea comes into my mind. If I want to experience something, sometimes I would just ask myself, what can I do to make myself feel better, right? And then, I want to experience that, or I want to feel love or something. Then I just give it to myself. And I give it to myself in like the feeling way, right? Feelingly. Assuming it actually happens for me right now in that moment, because I feel those emotions in my body. How can this not be true then if I feel it, right? And I do it before sleep and also sometimes when I wake up, sometimes during the day if I have a nap or something, whenever I feel like it. But again, I just do this because it just genuinely makes me feel good, and it's not that I want to see these scenes in my 3D. I just do this because it's just a pleasurable practice for me. Then I also do scripting. The scripting is not as like a task, but just like feel good practice to enter my day on a high note. And the key is that I don't do this to make things happen in my 3D, okay? I do this because it already is, right? I just shift realities in my imagination to actually experience it because I genuinely enjoy these practices. That's why they work. And this is what I call the instant manifestation, because I can literally just get into that experience and feel it real. And it also took me a while to realize what feels enjoyable for me personally. It took trial and error and moments of frustration, dropping a routine altogether and wishing I had never found manifesting in the first place, coming back to what felt good when it felt good. Just no rush, just intention and authenticity with myself, showing up and prioritizing myself and my mental diet. And don't be alarmed if it takes you a bit of trial and error to actually arrive at your ideal day design. I know that if we want something, we are focused on it, on getting it as soon as possible, and we feel that time pressure. This is because we attach our happiness and fulfillment to the stuff that we want. We just feel like we are not going to be happy before we get that stuff. Of course, we are then going to experience a little bit of time pressure. But this practice is about, creating this peace and fulfillment here and now, even before we get to experience our manifestations in 3D, but just feeling it right now because we can. And this is your practice, your routine, and your life. This is how you transform your 3D into your friend and not something to resist. So just try things out. See what feels effortless and joyful and what feels forced. Release what doesn't serve you and build on what does. And I know that you likely, just like me, tried all the technique imaginable out there. And some of them felt good, but some of them felt like, what am I even doing? So take this information because only you know how you reacted to certain things and only you know what actually makes you feel good. So always prioritize how it feels for you because it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. Manifestation isn't about being perfect. It's about being aligned. And when you create a daily flow that nurtures you from the inside out, the external world just has to follow. There is no other way. It's literally the law. So tell me, what's the one thing you'll add to your routine starting tomorrow? That is all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I know that this video will be helpful and it would mean the world to me if you could just drop a comment down below with your thoughts, and you could, for example, share what are your favorite manifestation habits, and subscribe and check the free resources in the description. These are the videos that YouTube thinks that you should watch next. And remember, you are brave, you are loved. Be kind to yourself. Bye now.